It's Ira here, and today's video is going to be a random rant about, Mr. Pandaria and, in my opinion, what went wrong. Now, for those who don't know, well, you probably don't know, it depends if this is the first or the second one, but my random rants aren't really about the gameplay, but they're just me talking about stuff. Just having just talking about anything. It could be about any game, anything, it doesn't really matter. But, I've just got some random gameplay. I'm actually on my Elemental Shaman in a BG, just running around, hitting people around the head. I'm going to talk about Mr. Pandaria and what went wrong. And, as a little disclaimer, I still enjoy Mr. Pandaria, I still play it. But I want to talk about PvP wise, what could have been improved, and, what I feel is wrong at the moment. So, let's just start with, the transition between the expansions. Now, let's ignore TBC. That was way ago. Let's have a look at the transition from TBC, Wrath of Lich King to Car. Now, back in Wrath, if you actually played it, damage was, the game was very bursty. People didn't have really one-shot macros, they just did damage all the time. There was cooldowns, but there wasn't, as heavy cooldowns. Then it went to Car, and though there wasn't such things as one-shot macros, as you did get in MOP, there was still very, a lot of damage. You could die from just crowd control. You could get a long CC chain and score a kill, and that's how most of the kills were scored. But then we moved over to Mr. Pandaria, where I remember the start of Mist where you could not get a kill if you didn't have your one-shot macro as any class. Like a druid couldn't get a kill, warriors couldn't get a kill, shamans couldn't without Stormlash and everything. Paladins needed wings, and hunters needed BM. Priests needed wings, and if you actually look at the way the game is, even mages with alter time and palm and all that shit, people don't get kills outside of their one shots, which is a shame, to be fair, and that's where I feel like this expansion has gone wrong. I feel like this expansion has extremes on both ends as well. You meet certain comps where they won't die and it'll be like a 20-minute game every single time, and you just can't get a kill. You've got comps with Warlock Ellie healer, which, if you're a melee caster healer against that, the game does not end. It's a long game. No one can die. Even if you do use your one shots, the chances are you can't score a kill because they've got one of 10 million cooldowns to survive. And on the other extreme, you've got these hunter cleaves and these cleave comps which go in and kill someone within 10 to 15 seconds without even landing crowd control, just through sheer damage. So you've got the comps that can last forever, and you've got comps that, just one-shot you, and then you've really got no middle ground at the moment. It feels to me, in Mr. Pandaria specifically, that you really have to play one of the extremes. You can't play in the middle. If you try to play a comp that's in the middle, you're going to get destroyed by them hunter cleaves, or you're not going to be able to land a kill against Ellie Lock Healer, or Shadow Priest Ellie, which is a crazy healing comp, same as Boomkin Ellie and Boomkin Shadow Priest, crazy survivability. So what's frustrated me about MOP a lot is, both extremes, and the fact that you need to pop all your cooldowns at once just to kill someone. Before this expansion, I'd never seen so much cooldown stacking. People literally just put everything in one macro and hope that it's enough to kill people, which is a real shame, to be fair. I mean, it's definitely dumbed the game down. I feel like certain areas of the game have got more skillful, but I feel like when it comes to getting kills, the game has definitely been dumbed down a lot. So let's just talk about what went wrong with some of the classes. I mean, as far as DK, let's just go through all the classes. That's the easiest way to talk about it, right? DK, I don't think DK is too wrong. I think DK's been in a decent spot all expansion. I understand last season they were a bit bad, but this season they're pretty strong. I feel like the DK playstyle is actually pretty clever and pretty cool. I do believe they do a bit too much AoE damage, and I'd like to see them substituted with more single target, but they haven't been ruining the expansion. They're not that bad. Rogues, they were really stupid for a period this season, but they got nerfed, and once again, classic Blizzard, they buff something so it's crazy and obscene, similar to what happened with Warriors, and then they nerf it till it's unviable. And that's what I feel like what's happened with Rogue, and Rogues just don't fit in the current meta of the game. They haven't really got a place in the game at the moment. Priest, well, let's go into Priest. I mean, the problem with Priest and Mr. Pandaria is it's actually not a Priest. It's not the Priest you used to play anyway, it's more like a Paladin. the fact that the priest shields everyone with Spirit Shell at the start of the game, then you all go in, Rambo, 300k shield, and then he just stands in the back shielding, and then on occasion you might put a Siphene down or go in for a Fear. I feel like that's a really crappy playstyle, and it's not actually how people played Priest back in Wrath and Keter. So it's a bit of a shame. I think the class has been gutted. As for Shadow, I feel like at the start of the expansion they were ridiculous with their off healing. They're not so bad now. I mean, they're decent now, but they're not as good as Warlocks in my opinion. I definitely feel like Warlocks is stronger. And going on to Warlock, the problem with Warlock is that at one point they were ridiculously weak and not even viable, and now they're kind of, if they're not meeting Hunters, they're kind of insane, because against a Warlock the gateway just means you can't get a kill. It's really used very hard to get a kill. Sorry. Like, I feel like they should definitely put charges onto the gateway or give it a longer cooldown. I feel like if you gave it 5 charges or 6 charges, if you want to be fair to the whole team in 3v3, and after 6 it's obsolete and you have to recast another one, or even give it 1 charge in every time. Give it 3 charges so your whole team could use it, and then you have to cast a new one. In my opinion, that would make the ability fair. I don't know about you, but that would feel like it's more fair to me. Having 6 charges would be, be about right. Shaman, I don't know what to say about Shaman. It's just Shaman. Shaman's a boring class. Ellie's kind of insane at the moment, but they aren't breaking the game. Shaman's fine at the moment. Same with Druid. I mean, apart from Feral one shot being obnoxious and Feral's being kind of stupid CC wise, I feel like in 5.4 with the nerfs coming to them, they're going to be a lot more bearable. They're not that bad. See, the problem with a lot of classes, like Enhancement Shaman, people will say, what about Enhancement Shaman one shot? Well, the problem with classes like Druid, Shaman, and even Rep Paladin, like Rep Paladin is kind of okay, but it's not that bad. The problem with Rep Paladin being overpowered, or Shaman being overpowered, or Feral being overpowered, is what it plays with. A lot of the time when you meet these classes, they play with, the Scum class. Same as Warrior. A lot of the time you meet a Warrior, they play with the Scum class, and that's Hunter. No offense to any Hunters, but Hunter at the moment is just disgusting, and I feel, honestly, like single-handedly, BM Hunters are ruining this expansion and season. I'm not even joking. Like, can you imagine how good the game would be if you removed Hunters from it right now? Like, PvP would be so much fun. I honestly feel like BM Hunter is ruining the game. And that's mainly just due to the insane bursts they get coming from Pet, and this, the obnoxious crowd control they get, though, remember, that is getting fixed next patch. So, this video is done in 5.3, but next patch, this video will be obsolete, or could be, because Hunters might be fine then. As for Monks, I don't know, Monks are crap. Like, I've played with Monks a lot, but they're just healing and DPS, they just feel average, slightly below average, so I don't think they're running the season. In my opinion, the real harm has been done by Hunters, and how broken Hunter is at the moment. And it's not a QQ, video. It's just me talking about what went wrong. It's just me chatting about stuff. Another thing I could say with mages specifically, I feel like they need to cast more, but they should be rewarded for that. Like, like Frostbomb rewards you, it gives you this huge burst if you get it off. I feel like Nether Tempest and Living Bomb should be similar to that, but I'm not sure how they would do that. I just don't like the fact that mages spend their game tab Living Bomb or tab Nether Tempesting and waiting for instant procs. It's not how Mage was played. It's not how it should be played. It's a caster. You should be able to cast. But then again, just like Lock, maybe there'll be changes. I mean, Lock's getting changed next patch, so they can't run around and cast. Maybe they'll do something with mages. Another thing, I honestly feel like Mr. Pandaria has been the death of solid melee caster healer comps. And yeah, I understand that Warrior Shadow Priest healer was good last patch, but I honestly feel like it is the death of melee caster healer. Because on both sides of the spectrum, you've got these comps which are very, very tanky, like Spell Cleave, you've got God Comp, you've got Boomkin Shadow Priest, Ellie Shadow Priest, Ellie Lock Healer. These comps all Spell Cleaves, and then that are all, top comps, and then on the other scale, you've got these top comps which are Jungle Cleave, Fug Cleave, Rep, KFC. There's no middle ground. If you play a Medicaster healer comp, you're automatically at a disadvantage, in my humble opinion. So that's a big issue for me. You don't see RMP that much, you don't see RLS that much, you don't see Warrior Lock Druid, an iconic comp which I absolutely loved back in the day. I remember when I was still getting into PvP. I was pretty high at the time. I was like 2400, but I remember like watching. I was playing TSG, and I remember watching Hoodrich 6, was it, or Hoodrich 5? I remember watching when he was playing WLD at like 3k, and I remember watching that, and like instantly going over to WLD and playing that comp, and I loved it. And you see, that's a big problem for the game nowadays in Mr. Pandaria. You know, melee caster healer's dead. Well, not dead, but it's definitely not living. That's for sure. And that's a big problem with the expansion. I mean, if you play Cat AT, which is, you know, the Cataclysm Arena Tournament realm, or if you play Arena Tournament Rafa Lich King, you'd honestly believe what I'm talking about. On them realms, you don't get this stuff which you get in MOP. In MOP, you can literally crowd control someone for 45 seconds if you're playing a certain comp, and you cannot land a kill because they've got so many cooldowns. And then the next game, you'll be against a team that doesn't land any crowd control on you, but because they've got a hunter, they manage to kill you in the opener or kill you 15 seconds in with no crowd control. And that's not right. That's not right. And you don't get that sort of thing in Cat or even in Rafa Lich King. You know, if you get crowd control, you get the kill. That's it. That's how it feels to me anyway. There's not that much cheese kills, and it's more rewarding when you actually win a game. But yeah, guys, I'm pretty sure I covered most of it. I mean, there's not much else I can really bitch about. I mean, I don't hate Mr. Pandaria. It's an okay expansion. It's not as good as the other ones, but it's not that bad. Hopefully next one will be better. And with 5.4 coming around the corner, I've looked at some of the patch notes. It looks pretty solid. So you never know. Anyway, that was just me, just giving you my random rants. If you too long didn't listen, I don't like hunters. That's pretty much it. But yeah, once again, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy it, remember to press subscribe. I haven't got a gun to your head, but you know, it'd be nice if you did subscribe. And I'll speak to you guys later. Goodbye. Okay, well, that's it for today, guys. But if you did enjoy that video, remember to subscribe. There's a link in the annotation, as you can see here. And also, if you click on the left, you're going to get one of my arena videos that I've just released. Did it yesterday, playing Warrior, Shadow, Priest, Healer, and we were around, between 22 to 2300-ish. And if you click on the right, you'll get a Guild Wars 2 video. For those of you who are subscribed for Guild Wars 2, I'll be doing a Guild Wars 2 video tomorrow. I'm not going to be doing lots of them, keep that in mind, but I will do a few because people have been asking. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.